Hello guys, my name is John Michael E. Reyes and I'm currently going to tutor you or teach you about the chapter 1 of the activities here in chapter 1. The chapter 1 is all about exploring the internet. Then let's read the preview. We now stand at critical turning point in the use of technology to extend and empower our ability to communicate. The globalization of the internet has succeeded faster than anyone could imagine. The manners in which social, commercial, political, and personal interactions occur is rapidly changing to keep up with the evolution of the global network. In the stage of our development, innovators will use the internet as a starting point for their efforts, creating new products and services specially designed to take advantage of the network capabilities as developers push the limits of what is possible. The capabilities of the interconnected networks that form the internet will play the increasing role in the success of these projects. This chapter introduced the platform of data networks upon which our social and business relationship increasingly depends. The material lays the groundwork for exploring the services, technologies, and issues encountered by networks professionals as they design, build, and maintain the modern network. The first thing we should learn, or I would teach you, is what are the end devices, intermediary devices, and network connections, or at connection based. First, the end devices are the ones that the end users use. Then the intermediary devices are the connectivity. Then the network is somewhat about the ISP or internet service provider, but there are three types of network: the LAN, wireless, and the WAN. I think the WAN is used for big industries like in our world. Then the LAN is our local area network, is just like a cable, just like in the computer shop, I think. Then the wireless is used in our mobile phones, laptop, or even in PCs. But let's try to check the activities here at chapter 1 in order to teach you how to do that. Then let's go. Then this is the first activity of chapter 1, the end devices, intermediary devices, and network media. And somewhat we are just gonna drag their function and representation. So let's do it. Then provides provides connectivity and ensures the data flow across the network. So it would be intermediary devices because, as we can see, provides connectivity. It is the middle layer of the, for me I think. Then provides an interface between the human and the network. That would be end devices because it is the way in order to connect to the network. Then provides channel for message to travel from source to distance. That would be a network because when we send a message, that it will travel through a network media or WAN, LAN, and other stuff. Then let's check. So you can see all the answers are correct, and we are here on the representations. And as you can see in here, it is a switch. It is a switch in the Cisco, I think. Then it would be in intermediary device, and this is the IP telephony or VoIP, I think. That would be a end device because, as you can see, telephones are end devices. Then this one is for one, the red somewhat, that is a serial, so it would be a WAN or wide area networks. Then this would be a firewall are considered as intermediary devices. Then it is a tablet, then laptop. All the devices that we use are end devices. Then these are the wireless with the somewhat just like a DNA. Then this one is a router. Then printer, that would be end devices. Routers are intermediary devices because it all provides us connectivity to ensures the data flow. Then this one's the television or other stuff. This one is the multi-layer switch and wireless router that would be also intermediary devices. Then this one is a LAN cable or LAN. It is, and let's check if our representation or answers are correct. So then, so you can see they're all correct. Then we are gonna label it. Then let's see, LAN media, this would be this one, the straight one, LAN media. Then wireless tablet, the wireless tablet would be this one. Then printer, the printer would be this one. The firewall appliances is this one. The router would be this one. Then the wireless media, this, I think it's the wireless media. Then desktop computers, we all know that. Then multi-layer switch, as I've said earlier, this is the multi-layer switch. Then IP phone, oh, it's not VoIP, it's IP phone, sorry for that. Then the WAN media. Then LAN switch, where's the LAN switch? Yeah, this is the LAN switch. Then the laptop, wireless router, then telepresence, endpoint. Then that's all, I think. Then let's check if it's good or bad. Then let's proceed to another one. Let's check. As you can see, they're all correct. Then that's pretty easy for me because I've already studied the chapter 1. So let's progress to the another activity in order to teach you or tutor you to the answers. Then we are back at the second activity for the chapter 1, and I'm here again to then first I will discuss the fault tolerance. The fault tolerance is somewhat having a many ways of redundancy in order to go or pass through a network in order to have a separate way when you have errors or other stuff. Then scalability is somewhat expanding quickly and other stuff. Then quality of service is somewhat good for your futures and networks. Then the security, we all know the security is somewhat for against the virus and other attacks. Then let's try to answer this one. And network should be available. We all know that network should be available. It would be fault tolerance because somewhat fault tolerance is somewhat having always a different way of a network. Somewhat you should always be available. It is somewhat having to go through in other way when some ways are errors and other stuff. Then priority are implemented when demands of network bandwidth exceed supply. That would be a quality of service because the keyword here, the implement when the demand, that keyword demand is somewhat always good with the quality of service. Then business network and personal network equipments must be protected. It would be go to the security obviously because of the word protected. Then developing a plan for priority queuing is a strategy for quality delivery of information. And our magic keyword is the word quality. There's a quality in there, so it would go for quality of service. Then business and personal data must be protected, and as you can see again, the magic word protected, it would go to the security. Then network can grow or expand with minimal impact on performance. Network that, as I've said earlier, the scalability is all about growth and expand quickly, so it would go to the scalability. Then data can travel through more than one route for the delivery from a remote source. Then data travel through more than one route, so it would be fault tolerance. As I've said earlier, you should have always a reserve route or many routes in order for if a one route does an error or is down, you can go to other routes. Then common network standards allow hardware and software vendors to focus on products improvement. With the focus on product improvement, that would be, I think it would be a quality of service because of the word focus on product improvement. So it is pertaining to the quality of the service or a product. So first, let's check. Oh, why? That would be, I think it would be scalability. Yes, it's scalability. Sorry for that. That would be scalability. It's my fault. Then let's proceed to another video. And I'm back, and this is the third activity, and I think it is the last activity of the chapter 1. and it is somewhat pretty easy to teach you how to answer this one and define each questions. Then let's try to answer this. Then an attack which slow or crashes equipment and program, that would be, oh, first, sorry for that, I will try to teach you about the viruses and other stuff. First of all, the Trojan horse. The Trojan horse is somewhat like an friendly application. Then the and worms, virus, and other stuff are the one that arbitrary code. Then the VPN is the creates a secure networks. Then the firewall is the unauthorized access to your networks. Then what more? Then the 0-day R attack is somewhat a timer or time bomb attack. Then the denial of service attack is somewhat a to block an outer or network that an attack which slow down or crashes equipment or program and other stuff. There are so many viruses and attacks that have vulnerabilities about on your computers, desktop, and other stuff, laptops, cell phones, anything that is connected to the network can be attacked. So first, let's answer this one. Then an attack which slow down, as I've said earlier, it would be denial of service attack. Then creates a secure network for remote, that would be a VPN or virtual private network. Then blocks unauthorized access to your network, that would be a firewall. Then network attacks that occur on the first day, that would be a zero-day R attack. Then arbitrary codes, that would be a virus, worms. Then let's check. So you can see it's all correct, and I think that's the last, and goodbye.